or 2, but actually 3 today's special choices for you tonight. So I have to say this has really been a runaway hit and a runaway favorite. So normally we see Andrew do this in January, but tonight you get an opportunity to really support your liver during the time of year when it's most challenged. Now remember, biggest savings that we've ever seen, you can choose them individually, so it's really easy. You can choose your PC liver, your phosphatidylcholine separately, or your liver antioxidants separately. Same pricing, it's the biggest savings. Remember the capsule size, or the capsule count rather, is just a little bit different because liver antioxidants is more expensive to manufacture. So again, the phosphatidylcholine or the liver antioxidants, it's the same price. It's the same price, Shannon, just different capsule count size. Or go ahead, Andrew.
If I could, the pricing hopefully is pretty evident on the screen, and they'll be able to see. So what I wanted to do, the savings, again, it's like buy one, get one free. What I wanted to do, we didn't read any reviews. I have a number of reviews here. I would just like to read some of the reviews on PC, on phosphatidylcholine, and also read some of the reviews on liver antioxidant extracts, just so we get a little bit of exposure. Not everybody's going to read the reviews. I'd like to just do so if I could here. So here we go. So, helped my liver count. I had an abnormal liver enzymes count and my doctor was concerned, so he decided to rerun the tests in 2 months. During those 2 months, I took these 2 supplements for liver health: PC Liver and Brain Benefits and liver antioxidant extracts. Well, my doctor and I were both so amazed and pleased that when the liver enzyme tests were repeated in 2 months, the tests came back within the normal range. I have continued to take these supplements now that I know they really work. Thank you for such great products. Arthur in Ohio. We have countless reviews like that. Beneficial supplement. I've been taking these for quite a while. I drink up to 2 glasses of wine a day and hope this supplement is helping to support the health of my liver. Last year, my liver enzyme test came back perfect. So I give some credit to this product. They cause no issues with my stomach, which is a plus. I would recommend from Peggy in Pennsylvania. Unexpected brain boost. I decided to try this for liver support as I take several prescriptions that can be hard on that organ. I was surprised at an almost immediate change to my memory and focus in that they have sharpened. I was not experiencing any significant problems in those areas. I thought, but the improvement was so noticeable, excuse me, it's very dry here in California, to me that I had to comment. My blood work is routinely good, and I would like to keep it that way. Given the impact I attribute to this product, since it was the only change to my Andrew regimen, I will never be without it. I'm 70 years old and need all the help I can get. Thank you so much for taking such great care of me. From Sasha in New Jersey. Liver enzymes are great. My liver enzymes have improved since taking this product. Initially, I started due to bad numbers and having to pay more for new life insurance policy. At my next physical several months later, my numbers were excellent. I credit this supplement with the improvement. My brain thinks better too, from Bolt in California. Liver is a little helper. While I'm recovering from a botched surgery and multiple auto injuries that have flooded me with harmful medications, there's been a terrible toll on my liver. Poor thing has been accumulated with fatty tissues. I'm working hard to stabilize my lipids, and since our liver's a little genius, I'm expecting great results from Andrew's quality ingredients to help me. He formulated of PC, inositol, milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke are a unique combination that have me on my way. Thank you. We'll do one more. Is working for me. I've been taking this PC Liver and Brain Benefit supplement for about a month. I can definitely tell the difference in my memory and brain power. I was getting so forgetful, that's why I started taking this. I can't see how it's benefiting my liver. Well, we can't see our liver, but I'm sure the next time I have blood work done, I will see a big difference, like the other tests. Thank you, Andrew, for this supplement. I am so thankful I am getting my memory back. From Debbie in Texas. Well, so I think those are just a few highlights of the kinds of experiences people get. And we have dozens and dozens of reviews like that.
Absolutely. And I love all the reviews, Andrew, but you know, you can see for yourself